Standard Industrie has specialised in the declogging of silos for over 12 years now. We are located in Roubaix in the north of France. We have perfected a pneumatic declogging device, more commonly called an air cannon, which we have called Airchoc. This device solves problems of clogging and build-ups, which are found in silos and hoppers, particularly in the iron and steel industries, chemical industries, cement works, agrochemical plants, concrete manufacturers and many other industries. Our company, with its dynamic technical team, is ideally qualified, by reason of its great experience and mobility, to deal with all the problems faced by our customers. Compressed air reaches the chamber of the Airchoc by way of the three-way valve, and it passes around the edges of the piston to fill up the reservoir. As soon as the reservoir is full, there is a pressure equilibrium between the air pressure vessel and the Airchoc. The intake of compressed air ceases, and the Airchoc is ready to be discharged. To discharge the device, the three-way valve was positioned in the exhaust mode. The piston instantly clears the exit, thus facilitating the emptying of the reservoir in 1/100th of a second. Airchocs can be installed on all types of structure, steel, concrete, and even on less dense structures. However, it is crucial that certain assembly and maintenance procedures are closely followed. The positioning of the Airchoc devices is determined by our technicians, who produce a drawing of the proposed installation. At the same time, we assess the problems which exist, then calculate and recommend the discharge sequence and timing accordingly. You are now at the EVA company, which was founded in Seine-Saint-Denis, the Paris area, in 1935. This local company belongs to the Group Union Travaux, employing 700 people and achieving an annual turnover of 420 million francs, 42 million pounds. There is a three-centre production site, a coating plant, a concrete and treated gravel plant, and an emulsion factory. About 400,000 tons of material are processed by this plant. Many material flow problems have been encountered. Liebherr recommended Standard Industrie Airchocs to me. I use very clayey or filtered substances, and therefore with original vibrators on the Liebherr measurers. I just couldn't sort out the problem. We were forced to have a worker on a perpetual basis banging on the hoppers in order to get the material to come down. Since we installed the Airchocs, the hoppers can be filled almost to 60% capacity, and there are no more problems at all. Almost 4 hoppers out of every 5 have been fitted with Airchocs. We are the company Simon d'Origny, which is a subsidiary of the Holderbank Group, the largest cement producer in the world. We have a workforce of 115 people, and the daily production of clinker can be up to 1,200 tons. We had to find a solution for the concretion problems in our heat exchanger, because we use completely dry manufacturing process. The decision was made 5 years ago to buy Standard Industrie Airchocs. First of all, we equipped our heat exchanger with 50-litre capacity air cannons, fitted with high-temperature resistant conic heads. We were so pleased with the results of these trials that we extended the use of these Airchoc air cannons to the raw material hoppers. Following this, we also installed these devices on the cement silo facilities, where we had been having the same problems of clogging. Today we have about 70 Airchoc devices, ranging in capacity between 50 and 200 litres. The Astra Calvé company is part of the Unilever group. In the Astra's works at Asnières, we manufacture mainly fat substances for foodstuff. This is the main boiler, which supplies the steam to the production units. Our daily consumption of coal is about 80 tons, and this coal is transferred by a belt conveyor system to the hopper supplying the boiler. We have also installed the Airchoc air cannons on this hopper in order to level the coal permanently. This equipment has enabled us to have a regular feeding system to the boiler. We have also installed Airchoc air cannons in the hopper holding the cinders, which are the residue of the coal burnt in this type of equipment. The CCB factory, Belgian cement company, is situated near Tournai in Belgium. Its number 4 furnace has a daily production of 7,200 tons of clinker. At present it is the largest furnace in any cement works in Europe and one of the largest in the world. The heat exchange tower, which supplies the kiln, has 138 air shocks. These devices avoid the necessity of manual rodding and the use of high pressure water jets. CCB has been using air shocks since 1983. At Frangy, we produce cement. The factory uses a semi-dry system and produces 900 tons of clinker a day. We put the limestone, clay and marl mixture into the Le Pole grate. To remove the concretions produced, we had to water jet twice a week, which was very hard and very tiresome. By installing Airchoc air cannons, which we discharge either every 16 or 24 hours, we managed to reduce this water jetting. Before, without air shocks, we had to water jet twice or even 3 times every week, whereas now this is necessary only once every fortnight. The Aubourg limestone plant is situated near Tournai in Belgium. This quarry produces over 3 million tons of ground rock, to which is added about 200,000 tons of roadstone derivatives and filtered sand between 0 and 2 millimeters. Before the installation of the 6 air shocks type AC4, the 600 cubic meter silo could only be used at 40% of its capacity because rat-holing problems prohibited any greater usage. Nowadays we can extract up to 97% of the silo's capacity, which is an excellent result. We are part of the La Paire group, which is a sawmill producing only oak. We make 4,000 to 4,500 cubic meters of lumps a year. This represents approximately 800 to 1,000 tons of sawdust per year. In other words, the equivalent of an 80 to 90 cubic meter capacity lorry load every month. Before the installation of the air shocks, 4 or 5 people would have to spend 4 hours inside the silo where the temperature was very high. Now, since we installed the air shocks, we only need about 10 minutes to empty the silo. This is a major improvement. Our product range incorporates 7 tank capacities running from 4 litres up to 400 litres, and we are offering 2 versions of Airchoc. First, we offer the standard construction and also the high temperature construction, which is especially adapted for use on furnaces in such places as cement works, among others. We currently export 65% of our production, mostly to other European countries. The remainder goes to the Far East, Africa, Latin America and Asia.